welcome back to Skeleton Warriors on Channel 4. Before we begin, I'd like to say a big thank you to the chap that super chatted before the stream actually started. So thank you for that. The neighbor's kid sent $5 and he says, now that Chris is in jail, is Jotaro going to come and teach her how to use her stand? I don't really understand that. I think that's something to do with JoJo. I'm pretty confident that that's something to do with JoJo, actually. But I don't actually understand the joke above and beyond that. But welcome, everyone. It's great to have you all here. We'll be reading some of Chris's prison letters in just a moment. But before all that begins, just take a minute to check that that you can hear me and that the audio quality is acceptable. It doesn't have to be amazing because, let's be honest, what we're doing is a little bit ridiculous. We don't necessarily need 4K fucking sound quality, but what we do need is for you to be able to hear what I'm saying. Babe, wake up, new costume. New monkey just dropped. Apparently I'm a little quiet, so let's see if I can fix that. Okay, let's turn this up and maybe give the gain a little bit of a boost as well on the microphone. Yes, I'm very techie. I know all sorts of things about audio. Yeah, some complaints about the volume. See if I can just see if I can fix it. Is that any better? Let me know. Yep, same thing from everybody. Everyone's saying volume, so... Alright, looks like we're in agreement now that it's going to work. Alright, so fabulous to have you all here. I've just noticed there are 69 people here, and the rules of comedy dictate I have to comment about that. So, 69. It's funny because sex. So let's read some prison letters. Well, actually, before we start, let's, catch up, because I've been gone bloody ages. I'm also delaying the inevitable, because I'm aware that at some point I'm going to have to read this garbage. Just thought everyone should take a look at the handwriting. I think, Chris has done some horrible things. Racism, homophobia, and of course the rape of her own mother. But I think Chris's biggest crime is that she doesn't join her fucking handwriting up when she's almost 40 years old. Still writes straight print like a 7-year-old. Very frustrating handwriting to look at. Chris is a hero, according to the chat. I'm not certain that I agree, if I'm entirely honest with you. But yes, the handwriting's just dreadful, isn't it? Now, we won't be looking at this chicken scratch for the entire stream because some nice people on the Quickie have actually transcribed the letters. So we can actually just read the transcripts. But I thought we'd have a little butchers at this for a moment. Just horrendous. By handwriting, do you mean scribblings of a rapist mongoloid? Thank you, some English bloke, for the £5. He says, is one of these letters just Chris asking for a pin-up of Rita Hayworth? I don't see Chris having the sort of patience and willpower to dig a tunnel to freedom. Although I can picture Chris shuffling through miles and miles of human shit. I feel bad that Kobe has to read this by himself. I mean, you say has to. I mean, no one's forcing me. I'm doing this out of choice, and that really says quite a lot about me, doesn't it? Also, because I'm delaying what will ultimately happen here and the insanity that will ensue, go and see Dune, if you haven't already. Don't watch it on HBO Max, as you might have in America, or whatever streaming it's on here in the UK. I know it's on HBO over there. We don't have HBO Max here. We've got some other thing, I think Now TV or some shit. I've seen it twice at the cinema, and I intend to see it a third time next week. It is a film best enjoyed on a large screen with a fantastic sound system in complete darkness. It is not to be watched on your laptop, or even on a good quality television. Go to the best cinema near you and see Dune, if you haven't already. It's the best film of 2021 by a fucking country mile. I know that's not saying a lot, there's not been a lot of competition, but if you haven't seen Dune, actually go and watch it now. You don't need to listen to me read the scribblings of a fucking imbecile. You can go and see the best film that's come out in a very long time. Let's read the super chats and then let's read the fucking thing, shall we? Alright, thank you Renita Chan for the $4.99. Renita Chan says, Chris's handwriting looks like my brother's, who is about to get his electrical engineering degree. Sometimes it's just awful looking. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Not about your brother about to get his electrical engineering degree. That sounds very nice. I'm just sorry that his handwriting's so awful. All right, let's do this, shall we? I have fun. No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, look at this fucking chicken scratch. Let's let's actually read the transcript instead, shall we? Also, what's nice about going on the quickie? Oh, thank you, Super Shark Elijah, for the $1. That's much appreciated. Thank you. What's nice about this is I'm not going to read the quote; it'll spoil things. But there's a little bit of background. Oh, this is lovely. This is The Last Supper. Drawn by Chris Chan. And what's nice about this is actually a little bit of foreshadowing as to the content of this letter. But let's read the background first. On 19th of September 2021, Chris wrote an open letter from jail to an unknown individual while awaiting trial on a charge of incest. He asked the recipient to relay the contents to Null and to deliver the physical document to Chris's attorney, David, Hellberg? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Null uploaded the scanned letter to Kiwi Farms on the 24th of September. In the letter, Chris indicates he has taken an interest in the Bible, likely provided to him as part of his jail accommodations. However, he also seems to be under the impression that he is Jesus of Nazareth reincarnated. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right, we'll skip over some of this. Right, Chris evidently never listened when he was given the right to remain silent. Chris's lawyer could have made the argument that he was coerced into saying those things. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so basically, the crux of all of this is that Chris's letter basically annihilates his own defense because he flat out confesses to raping his mother. So, what a subject for comedy this evening, folks. What have I done with my adult life? Right. Riker asks, for $5 US, will you be reading this in George Takei's voice, or Aiton George Takei's voice? Oh my. That's not my impression, he actually wrote oh my. That's not George Takei's voice. People always get confused. That's Chris Chan's voice, and it's an extremely accurate impersonation. And I might. Thank you, Twin TVs, for the $1.79. Hey, Cobe, watched Dune on 2D IMAX, and it was great. It's a fucking masterpiece, isn't it? I'm glad you saw it in the cinema the way it was intended. Not enough people going to the cinema these days, and they should. They should support their local cinemas. Greninja Zach, thank you very much for the $4.99. Most kind. Cobe, what's with your voice? Did the Toffee Crisp vampire do something to you? Is it playing up again? Sometimes the microphone has to be unplugged and plugged back in again because it makes me sound like this, like very deep, like even deeper than that, like Darth Vader. So let me know if it's doing that, and I'll try to fix it. I'm showing my mother this stream, and she's very confused. Oh my god. Also, look at this picture here. It's part of one of the letters, but I'll just see if I can't zoom in on this delightful little cross here in the middle. What a beautiful image. Right. Fucking shall we then? Everyone, shall we just crack on, really? Right. I have finally received fresh paper and envelopes, and I feel it advised... Sorry, I'm not going to do that. I feel it advised to inform you of the following. This is so Chris. Like, straight away, this first sentence is just a fucking nightmare. I have finally received fresh paper and envelopes, and I feel it advised to inform you of the following, comma, capital letter, all of which, as you may or will, you have my consent to the... Fucking hell, Chris. Like, Already getting a headache. I've just started reading basically your confession, let's be honest. That's what this thing is. Just started reading it, and I'm already getting a fucking headache. All of which, as you may or will, you have my consent to relay all of the contents of this letter to Joshua Null Moon, as well as forward the physical document to David Hellberg, my attorney. The following, everyone. He's written that, has written that with capitals at the beginning of every sentence, Jaden Smith style, to suggest this is the title of a movie. The following, everyone, should hear. It's a great movie, and appreciate sincerely, authentic, and spiritually, and aura deep. I also swear direct truth with my left hand over my heart as I write this sentence. That's probably... So what we don't know is that Chris is actually left-handed, which is why the handwriting fucking looks like this, because her left hand, the dominant hand, is on the heart, so scribbling with the right hand. Firstly, and vitally, it should be made obvious and clear that aside from Andy Warhol... For fuck's sake, just... There's not going to be a single sentence, is there, in this, that isn't utter insanity. This is like staring. You know the movie The Cell? Has anyone seen The Cell? It's not a great movie, but basically, in order to find out, it's a sci-fi film, and in order to find out, I think, where a victim of a killer who hasn't been murdered yet is being held, they have to go into the serial killer's mind, and it's like this complete sort of circus of nonsense in there. It's visually quite interesting, but it's a bit pretentious. That's what this is like. I feel like I'm staring into the mind of a fucking serial killer. Except instead of a serial killer, it's the author of an atrocious cartoon who raped her mother. Right. Aside from Andy Warhol, my life events at present and so far can directly be compared and matched with that which have been chronicled of none other than Jesus Christ of Nazareth himself in any Holy Bible. Where does this take us? Oh, to an article about Chris's Messiah complex. And a picture of Chris doing a rather good AVGN impersonation. Yeah, we'll take a look at that later, perhaps. Also, feel free to take any unaltered photograph of my body's face. Just my face, alright? Neck and shoulder/chest area where I was not wearing the glasses. I like the word glasses. This is very well. It just takes us somewhere else. Oh, pedo glasses. So it's actually about his glasses. I thought this was going to be a... Oh, I'm back on fucking... There we are. Back on Google. Actually, that was DuckDuckGo, which is my default search engine for some reason. Because I'm so based. Then alter the photo to show a naturally growing brown beard, moustache and sideburns. Now place that photo next to image of I can do this. Now, place that photo next to any image of Jesus on or off the cross. It doesn't even say or. On of off the cross. Compare. Look deep into... I shouldn't laugh at this. This is the, ramblings of a psychotic. Look deep into my eyes and photograph. See for yourself. I meditate and connect directly and genuinely with the cosmos, both of our universe halves, and throughout the timelines, an entire multiverse. So despite some lack of physical evidence, none whatsoever, I know the ultimate truths, facts, and details, not commonly known or written, drawn or chronicled. That being stated, all of my life, my mind, eyes, and literally held the constant perception of being the central camera, number 000 out of all, and then a little arrow, which leads us nicely into this image. That's it's a bit low res. I hope you can see it though. I can't actually zoom in because I'm a big boomer. But there you are. I'll leave that on the screen for a moment while I check the chat. I thought you all might like to see that. It's a rather pleasant little image, isn't it? And we'll read some more super chats, I think, since we're at the end of that little paragraph area now. So, Renita Chan, thank you so much for the $4.99. He looks neither like what Jesus would really look like, a brown man, nor does he look like the popular idea of Jesus. No, he doesn't. That's the interesting thing. It's just awful. And again, it's interesting that Chris, again, has been identifying using female pronouns and all of this, and yet is saying, I am Jesus Christ. Please put a beard and long brown hair on me. There's a level of confusion there, I think. Thank you very much, Tea Kettle, for the $20. Very generous. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Been a long time since you last streamed. I'm happy to see you back, and I'm sorry on behalf of all of humanity that we are going to enjoy the pain you will go through while reading this. Have a 20 and get a brew when you're done. I really appreciate that. Thank you. That's very kind. Naki Hollis. I like that you're, because you haven't got a profile picture, it's just a big N, which I immediately found alarming before I clicked on your, clicked the super chat to see what it was. Hey man, good to hear from you. But why torture yourself by yourself like this? Why torture myself by myself? Well, there's no one else here, so I'm home alone, like Macaulay Culkin. And although there's no burglars trying to get in at the moment, but we'll see how that pans out for the evening. It's still quite early. It's not even 10 o'clock. And why torture myself with this? Because it's kind of funny. It's not the good kind of comedy. I mean, it's certainly not intelligent or enlightening in any way. Not even insightful. We're just falling down the rabbit hole together. Thank you for the $5, Sokar Cam. I haven't seen you before, I don't think. You seem new to me. Your avatar and name do not seem familiar. Thank you. So apparently Jesus is a total Sonic fan, much like everyone else. Yes, absolutely. Sonic fans are the weirdest people on earth. Chris is like the proto-Sonic fan. Uncle Palpy, thank you for the £2. This time, they'll stick him on a giant pickle. Yes, absolutely. Just two enormous pickles in the shape of a crucifix. And it turns out that the betrayal of Jesus was actually a trolling psyop by Surfshack Tito and the man in the pickle suit. Macaulay Culkin. Joe Pesci's trying to break in, but not for a robbery. Alright, shall we carry on then? So for the loud slurping there. Just one of the small pleasures is I'm suffering, so I have to inflict pain on all of you by like drinking loudly into the microphone. For my next miracle, I will turn water into navy. The other cameras, infinite, from the first-person perspective of all others. And this goes even deeper, and I encourage you to meditate deeply and see for yourself this and all of the truths. And the reason and truth behind my unique perception is direct and mind-blowingly simple. Autism. Oh, no, apparently it's not that. I am literally The real player one. The one avatar. Like, I don't know how anybody can be this fucking self-involved. Like, I always knew Chris was selfish. I mean, this is not exactly a well-kept secret. This is on another fucking level, though. Like, if I didn't know Chris as well as I do, this would feel like a cheap attempt at an insanity plea. But we all know Chris, and we know that's not the case. This is really what Chris thinks. The one avatar, and this body, eyes, mind and all, is the one God body. And I am literally also Jesus Christ himself, fully reincarnated and fully reawakened, even the dimension merge, literally completed and concluding. It never happened though, Chris. There was no dimensional merge. We even read that whole Google doc on the channel about how you secretly don't actually believe it. The same for the collective shift. All of this is literally huge chunks of the past, present, and in progress. Yes, present and in what do you think present means? Of my second coming. Period. Not all details of the past chronicled scripture writings are accurate. And as a member of the Council of Gods and Goddesses, with the oh my god, the lore is so fucking deep on this. Woo! I feel so bad for all the people finding out about Chris Chan because of the news. You know, all the people who didn't follow years and years of this nonsense and instead just kind of turned the news on one day and said, oh, a popular YouTuber is in jail for incest. And then having to read this, having no context for it. That would be fucking nightmarish. Not all details of the past, blah, blah, blah. As a member of the Council of Gods and Goddesses, with the strongest and direct of connections, I know details have changed, some to a lot. Okay? In regard to the scriptures of the past, 3 days on earth equal 4 months, with 24-hour days and nights, in the heaven realm. So yes, this is the one immortal body, and that was none other than I off and on that cross over 2,000 years ago in my past life. Personally, each and every prayer and praise to Jesus. See image right. There it is, look, we looked at it a moment ago. As of February 1982, at least have all been directed to his body and soul. Malachi 3, Judgment Day is nearing. Know this well. Praise. And then question mark, apparently. I'm assuming it's incoherent. Alright, let's have another look at the chat. We're going to do this for every little subsection, basically. We'll take little breaks to read the chat, because otherwise it gets a little chaotic. Thank you, Some English Bloke, for the £5. I am the one avatar. Hollywood whitewashing has gone too far this time. Very good, thank you. Thank you, John Lively, for the $5. These are just Chris Chan trying to set up an insanity plea. Well, that's what I said earlier. I don't know if you heard. You might have just not have come into the stream yet. But I did say if I didn't know Chris as well as I do, this would seem like a thinly veiled attempt at an insanity plea. But it's just too Chrissy. It's too Chris Channy to not be real. Thank you, Shades of the South. $5. It's just New Age word salad. I mean, it's certainly gibberish, I'll give you that. It is word salad. But it's a mix of New Age crap and specifically Chris Chan crap. Thank you, Bioman12, for the $4.99. Appreciate that. If Chris is the real player one, the game is awfully boring. I mean, you're not wrong, are you? Fuck me, what a nightmare. Alright. Back to the letter. We've got like 4 of these to get through as well. Right. Moving on. With all that stated, your last letter. Okay. Next. Why I had transferred that money on Saturday, July 31st. Josh had absolutely no right in relaying that detail publicly. Okay, so if you're not aware, Chris had basically illegally moved money from Barbara's bank account to Chris's account without Barbara's consent, which is, stealing. So that's what this is about here. Friday the 30th forced me out of my home and temple. Had nowhere else to go. Had less than $50 between pocket money. And only a couple of bucks or so in my bank account. No money in my PayPal. Patreon was not due for a payout until Sunday. And SSI, I don't know what that is. Is that some kind of benefit? Yeah, tugboat just came up. I know what the tugboat is. That's what Chris calls her benefits. Was not coming to my bank until Tuesday. Harriet and Tom Ashby cast me out before I even arrived. What is this place called? Midlothian. Sounds very Scottish. The van was not majorly uncomfortable. Josh had wired $1,000 to my bank that Friday, but it would not arrive until after or on Monday. Little food and options. And you try bumming any parking lot. Try bumming in any parking lot without feeling insecure and paranoid. So as an Englishman, this phrase is very funny to me. So bumming, of course, if you're English, means having anal sex. And of course, bumming in a parking lot would be dogging, which is a particularly weird pastime. Not to kink shame, but it's a particularly weird pastime some people engage in. So this implies that Chris has been dogging and has felt very insecure and paranoid about such dogging. So that's funny to me and anyone else English who's listening. I needed safety and comfort as quickly as possible. That is why I transferred that money. I was going to pay it back in full. Even had $150 from Patreon on Sunday, the first, that went straight to Barbie Chan's bank account. I want to vomit at the phrase Barbie Chan. I would have paid the remaining $600 Monday or Tuesday, but Null had to fail his destined test and betrayed me like I was betrayed and jailed with a kiss over 2,000 years ago. Now, and as of the past arrest, I have absolutely no way to fulfill that repentance or anything else digital. Malachi 3:6-15. I repeat all that personally. Now, all of you had to over-drama and fail your worldwide test of faith upon me. Fuck, I hate you, Chris. That's another segment completed. Let's have another look at the chat. Thank you, Shades of the South, again for the another $5. Very generous of you. I've read ahead. This is horrendous. Have this for your sorrows. I have no idea how to pronounce this. It's like Jazakala gibberish. This is when someone criticizes me and says, "Don't you criticize perfectly valid foreign language?" I have no idea how to pronounce what you've just said. But I will take it to mean Huzzah, Chin Chin, L'chaim. Uncle Palpy, thank you for the £2. But back in the Roman age. Oh, Chris. Superstar Planet, thank you for the $5. So, Jesus reincarnated as some overweight bloke. Also, Chris claims to be the Avatar. Wouldn't that make Chris the Avatard? Ooh, that's... ouch. Yeah, garbage. Garbage nonsense that we're reading here. Absolutely ridiculous. Riker! Thank you for the $5, Riker. Appreciate that. Riker AVD 3.0. Did you see that some ween went to Barb's house and was harassing her? Shame. I didn't see that, but I'm not surprised at all. Fucking weens, white knights, all of them. Just tards. Just monsters. Get rid of them. Honestly, get on the spike at once. Weens get the spike. It's not a debate. It's not a request. There is a spike protruding from the ground. Climb upon it. Get on. This is my new justice system I'm proposing. Basically, impalings for everyone. Sigh. It's going to link me to the stress sigh. Oh my god. That's the noise. Great. I think there's an entire article about an unmanly noise that Chris makes. And finally, the all-important popular present FAQ. Why and what the hell? Emmanuel, God above all other gods and goddesses, and one of my mentors, herself, had deemed me to heal, cleanse, and clear Barbara. So this is the confession of all her past sins and regrets, by replacing them with new ones like incest, and improve her abilities directly and personally as her goddess. We mainly cuddled, soul bonded, and excuse me. Oh, sorry, I was unprepared. Okay, come on. There's an audience here. Pull it together. Man up. Cuddled, soul bonded, and talked. Consentfully and emotionally and mentally supportive and healing. I did as I had done for, and with a chosen few back in Israel over 2,000 years ago in cleansing them. I want to be sick. Water, that's what I need. It's tea, but it'll do. More details for the Bibles that had been overlooked and left out. We gods had eased up on the views of adultery. Why else do you all have pro-gay and pro-lesbian, pro-trans, and all today and the past decades? Just people becoming more enlightened over time, maybe? Everyone involved were all being genuinely deeply happy, content, and spiritually satisfied with themselves and each other. As long as all are over the age of consent and the activity was consensual by all parts involved, and genuinely spiritually happy, it is good. I don't know if Bob can consent, though, Chris. That's the thing, you know, because of the dementia-addled brain. I have written further insights and details and already shared them with David, and I get out on second coming, or sooner, by uninterrupted co-divine intervention. All of your demons and curses are no more and unrevivable. Judgment Day. Praise us gods. Chris Chan Sonichu, the goddess Blue Heart, and your lord. Shouldn't that be lady? You confuse me, Chris. You confuse the shit out of me. Just as a person. So, this is the second letter from jail, but I'm going to just take a quick break again before I blow some kind of fuse. Thank you, Pimp Demon. Good to have you here. And thanks for the 100 Northern Osmosis Kenya. Those are 3 words that begin with the letters of your currency. I never learned what your currency was. I'm sorry. Welcome back to Valerie Hudson Talk Show. Also, Heaven Realm is just a worse version of the Room of Spirit and Time from Dragon Ball. So Dragon Ball is better. GG, Chris sucks. Yeah, I figured like Room of Spirit and Time and all this, it's just, you know, all the same sort of nonsense, isn't it? Like the halls of your ancestors or heaven or all this is just different sort of religious things you hear. Just awful. So how's everybody feeling? I mean, are we ready? Like, are we ready for the next letter? Letter 2 of fucking 4? Are we excited? Is this something we all want to be doing? Are we all glad to be here this evening? Uncle Palpy, thank you for the £2. Even if Bob's looking down, he's still in hell. Oh, Bob. I feel bad that the guy didn't fall in battle, you know. Died with his buddies in Korea. He could be drinking ale in Valhalla right now. Instead, he lived to watch Chris become what Chris became. Thank you, Tea Kettle, for the $5. Very generous. Can we place Chris on a cross? Not because he thinks he's Jesus, but because it's painful enough to make Chris feel what the ones he's affected feel. Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's appropriated, Jesus. Why not? Surely Chris needs to go through penance and, you know, the passion and all of this. So, yeah, take 2 enormous pickles and stick Chris on those. Yeah. Let's get... Yeah, I think people are excited, yeah. Let's get on with it. It's not really excitement, is it? It's more sort of realizing there's no hope, so you're just plowing forward because there's no way back. Because we can't unread the first letter, can we? So there's no way out. So let's just continue. But first, some more loudly sipped tea. I'll just sip it away from the mic. Just because I'm nice. I'm politically correct. Illustration of the Solitude Cross. Right, is there a picture of this? There it is. Oh my god. Just so we're all clear, this is Chris's sort of religious symbol here. So, just a reminder that the fact that Christine thinks that she is God is proof that there is no God. Just thought I'd share that insight with all of you. Hey Kenneth. October 4th, 2021. This is the body of your and my soul partner, Jesus Christine. Well, fuck me. Jesus Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu, speaking to you on her blessed behalf. I know everything, though Christine knows more from her experiences since our extended separation since September 16th, 2021. Lots of S's, not a fun time to have a lisp. She shall return for me for the apex of our second coming. For those remaining who do not yet know, between Christine and I, combined and divided, we are the real player one, the one avatar. I, the body, am the one God body. What? And she and I are literally the full reincarnation of none other than Jesus Christ of Nazareth himself. Things you explained in the previous letter. The conclusion of the dimension merge's completion includes the completion of the collective shift for the majority that are good, and those recoverable, from Earth 1218 to Earth 1C 211987, and the second coming of Christine and I together again as your fully reawakened Lord Messiah, Saviour, God, and Judge over the minority who are the toxic, darkest sinners, haters, fakers, and darkest demonics who shall be left behind on 1218 Earth to burn. We are now on Malachi 3 and 4 of the Old Testament in any Bible. This is fucking alarming stuff. Like, listen to the hatred here. Judge over the minority who are the toxic, darkest sinners. Judge over? There's real school shooter vibes coming from this one. Like, I know Chris is not being, tried for anything violent, but there's evidence. I mean, we know, Chris ran someone over and stuff and pepper sprayed somebody. There's definitely evidence of sort of violent thoughts and maybe even violent intent. Yeah, this one's making me uncomfortable. I mean, I almost threw up at the last one, but this is making me uncomfortable in a different sort of way. The future of all Sonichus and Rochews, under still continued immortal care and guardian watch from I. Fuck, I hate the way you speak. Like, it's so hard to read. It is so hard to read this stuff. Under still continued immortal care and guardian watch from I, and our husband Magichan Sonichu, Prime of Universe 1C211987 and C197 before the recombination, shall remain the same for the future of all Pokemon. Good God! Do you remember when Chris was just a weirdo that drew a silly comic? It was like, oh, this guy Chris, he wears the same shirt every day, and he has bad personal hygiene, and is creeping on girls, and is a bit racist. He was just a weirdo on the internet. Fuck, I miss that. It's true what they say, isn't it? You can never really go home. There will never be a return to the golden age. Those halcyon days of classic Chris are long gone. And now we've just got this insane, degenerate, incestuous rapist screaming nonsense. I mean, look at this. Super Mario, Ratchet and Clank, Neptune, Blank, Noir, Vert, Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, Homer Simpson, Peter Griffin, Eric Cartman, something in Japanese. It just doesn't stop. So some of these don't even have wiki articles. They don't know who these people are. Do you know what I mean? The people on the Quickie don't know who the fuck Lightning Bliss is. President Lisa Simpson. Not Lisa Simpson. No, they have to be more specific than that. President Lisa Simpson. Sunset Shimmer. Princess Twilight Sparkle. So I'm assuming this is a constitutional monarchy in the dimension Chris Chan is from, because there's a president and a princess, so princess doesn't really have a lot of power, I expect. Oh well, why do I care? And so on, into all present-day existent, original and fictional characters, including the majority of all of you OCs of 1218 Earth here, and myself and Christine, we all continue on in greatest, partially immortal steed. Or stead. Stead is probably better in this context. Partially immortal stead. Mutual chronicling and alive, safe and well, forevermore. It's quite sad, isn't it? This sense that deep, deep down, a very personal place somewhere in Chris's mind, she knows this is all bullshit, like somewhere deep down. And that actually kind of hurts. Alright. Naki Hollis, thank you so much for the $9.99. 4. He made 4 letters. I almost feel bad for him because he is truly medically insane. Yes, there would be sympathy, you know, if it wasn't for the rape thing. Rapists don't get sympathy. They get on the spike, like everybody else. The Neighbor's Kid, thank you very much for the $2. He got crucified on a pickle. He's Pickle Chan. Funniest shit I've ever seen. Some English bloke, thank you for the £2. Who do you think is worse, Chris or Onision? I think maybe Chris, but it's difficult to say, isn't it? Because Onision is a very cruel person. And while he never raped anyone, there's some questions about consent, isn't there, with... Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Live on stream. Let's answer it, shall we? Hello? Hello?
Jacob, are you reading?
These are Chris Chan's letters from prison.
Okay, so I was just like doing it for like, oh, what's on YouTube? Oh, what's this? Fuck this. What the fuck is he reading about fucking like a bunch like cartoon cat? What the fuck's going on?
It's difficult to explain. Basically, Christine Chandler is in jail and has sent a number of letters out, and I'm reading them. Because this is what I do with my Saturday nights. Some people go out drinking with their friends. I, on the other hand, do this.
I don't even know what the fuck. Just you reading off a bunch of stuff like, okay, so any of them is abhorrent behaviour, or
yeah, there's the first one actually the first one straight up confesses, just like, yep, I did that shit. I raped my mum, and here's why. So yeah, Chris going to prison.
Was there any doubt?
No, of course, but thought maybe there might be some sort of insanity plea or something, but yeah, that's not going to happen. Chris is going to prison for a very long time.
Okay, so next time we do, if we ever do Solitude again, we just need that clip. Oh, legit!
I feel like we're probably not going to do Sonichu again. I feel like the whole mum rape thing has kind of poisoned it a bit. Sort of poisoned the well.
Yeah. Like, okay, yeah. No, hands up.
Alright, I'm going to go because the signal's fucking shit and I can barely understand you. But,
it's tasteful. We wouldn't have been reading Onion Boys book, would we?
No. So, if, yeah, Matt, I can't really hear you, mate, but, I will see you probably during the week. I'm free Monday and Wednesday. So, yeah, if you're free either Monday or Wednesday, let me know. And we'll do stuff. But yeah, call me when your phone's like not sounding like it's underwater. All right, take it easy. Couldn't understand half of what Matt was fucking saying, to be honest. Okay, Mike K27X. Thank you for the $5. Would have thought some time in prison would be a reality check for CWC, but I guess not. There's no hope. You're absolutely right. There is none whatsoever. Pimp Demon. Thank you for the Norwegian kroner. We decided it was. I think I had a look in the had a quick look in the thing. Chat. Yes, chat. That's the word. I forget how English works because of reading these. And I thought Jason Voorhees versus Jeff DeKipper was a terrible story. This is just wow. Just wow. Awful, goddamn, Clockwork meets Cult of X horrible. Yeah, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's nightmarish. It feels like I've stepped into a horrible dream. Uncle Palpy, thank you for the £5. The trolls clothed him. Oh, it's gone away again. The trolls clothed him in red and blue robe and went up to him again and again, saying, "Hail, Mayor of Quickville, Book of Cash 2123. Awesome. Did Matt get his old mic back? Yeah, it's just a bad signal. I don't know what the hell's going on. But yeah, it might be my phone that's the issue, but one of us definitely, the phone is not working properly. Oh, thanks to the people who started following me on Instagram during the stream, by the way. Cheers for that. Alright, let's get back to it, shall we? There's no more putting this off, is there? Fuck, my back hurts. Right. So yeah, Engelhart. I have just answered 2 of your questions. And to make it more clear, I am the God body. Christine is literally God, herself. We both are Jesus Christ reincarnated. I haven't got a fucking clue what's going on. So, spiritual and religious philosophies had even farther expanded continued workings well above anyone's head on this 1218 Earth. Well, this is above my head, Chris, and it's flying right over it. So I'm understanding probably 60% of what I'm reading, if that. Write daily logs and insight and wisdoms and then some. You know, actually I'm understanding about 30%. I have a temporary soul partner, a holy flame type, a sweetheart, you might say. You may remember her on her repentance tour. Is that like an apology tour, right? Because, Chris, I don't think one of those is going to do you much good at this point. Keeping me safe, well, not abused, and good, alongside many good angels, spirits, and OP allies in and around this jail of fail. There we are, Chris. Is that going to be the name of your fucking autobiography? Jail of Fail. We presently have a genuine Turkish prayer rug. Okay, thank you for sharing. And a deck of play. Just nothing to do with anything. Just talking about all this. I've got a partner and guiding me spiritually and all this. Also, we have a Turkish prayer rug and a deck of cards. What the fuck are you talking about? From the commissary, along with a very much appreciated sports bra, socks with no holes. What a luxury. Earplugs and a few other goodies. Food's mostly good, and well, not perfect meatballs. Banquet dinners have better meatballs. And chicken is often dry. Gee, I'm so sorry. That must really suck for you, Chris. Perhaps you should have thought about that before you raped your dementia-addled mother. And at present, we are asking all peoples to send money to the... Fuck you! Send money to the Sonichu Temple at 14 Branchland Court in Ruckersville, Virginia, to pay off the mortgage and remaining debts. That is not a temple, Chris. That is not a church. That is the home of the poor woman you assaulted. To pay off the mortgage and remaining debts. Food for Barbara is also appreciated. Why? You'll just fucking steal it. And visitors who personally offer genuine kindness and good intentions are all encouraged to visit the temple. Yeah, and you say that, and then Weens fucking roll up to your house. Prayers to and for Christine and I are appreciated and shall be answered. All prayers to Jesus have all been going to Christine for nearly 14 years now, and absolutely nothing is to be taken from within the temple, or its property yard, or defaced. All who do this shall be struck down by my allies, the gods, and heaven's armies. Blessings of great measures, personally for all who come, visit, and bring good, positive tithes and offerings. Okay. I hate you. I really, really hate you, Chris. Like, so much. Oh, we can do this, guys. We're almost at the end of letter 2. All donations to my inmate account can be made through the Central Virginia Regional Jail's website. And only US postal money orders, cashier checks, or certified checks made out and addressed to Christine is acceptable through postal mail. While that is greatly appreciated as well, the needs of the Sonichu Temple and Barbara's safety, and hers and mine, keep the temple remains of higher priority. You don't care about her safety, Chris. You raped her. You raped your mother. You don't care about her safety. You know, you stick a camera in her face, and while she doesn't know where the fuck she is, you use her as a prop to beg for money because you won't get a job. And now you're going to prison. It's a bit fucking late to care about your mother's safety, you piece of shit. Sorry. Just... Chris is making me angry. And lastly, but importantly, contact the local Virginia governors of Ruckersville and Charlottesville, Virginia, as well as President Biden, and get me Christine's body, as well as Christine herself, obviously, a full pardon to get me out of this jail and mess, please. What had happened was literally a divine mission. No, it was rape, Chris. It was incest and rape. Commissioned to Christine and I by Emmanuel, God above gods, herself, to heal and cleanse Barbara's health and soul and being, and clear her of her remaining sins and regrets through coddling, talking, and supportive soul bonding, to mainly extend her life, personally, by divine intervention. As Christine had told the few others via mail and posted onto Kiwi Farms, all of you were being, and are now being, divinely tested with a divinely purposed leak of this information. Too many of you have epically failed. That's the worst thing you've ever done, Chris. Worse than raping your mum is saying epically failed in the year 2021. By responding and giving into the drama. Instead of ignoring this with greater considerations for the context and knowing better of Christine. That's the problem, though, Chris, is that we do know you. And we know what a fucking scumbag you are. That's your biggest flaw, the many, many flaws that you have, is not only are you unwilling to change anything about yourself, really, you know, aside from changing your sexual identity to get more China, is that apparently you're unwilling to see that you are not a fucking hero. You're not a god, that's certainly the case, but you're also just not a good person. And maybe things would go a little bit smoother for you if you just stopped trying to turn everyone else into the bad guy. Because if every single person you interact with hurts you and is a piece of shit to you and trolls you and all this stuff, everyone, maybe, just maybe, Chris, the problem isn't with other people. Maybe you're the fucking problem. Maybe all the years you spent being homophobic, maybe all the years you spent getting, internet girls and cheating on them, Maybe all the time you spent harassing women in public places. Maybe, the people you've pepper sprayed and run over in your fucking car. Maybe you're the problem. Fuck's sake. Just unreasonable, this person. Absolutely unwilling to change. Completely fucking unreasonable. Yeah, knowing better of Christine. Yeah, I know all about you and your past situations. That's why I'm unwilling to accept you're a good person. Leaving it as a lost rumour. Anyway, instead, a la over 2,000 years ago in Israel, on History Repeat, alongside Judas and Null, Christine was massively betrayed. Fuck you. Meditate on all that now, or consult, ask a genuine, highly enlightened psychic to see for yourselves. Here's the problem, Chris, there are no genuine psychics. All psychics are scam artists or crazy. Consider this your interview, Kenneth. Go ahead, please, and share all of this in confirmation with what handwritten or original pages were already posted as well. Thanks. Sincerely, body of Mrs. Jesus Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu, the goddess Blue Heart, and Lord Messiah and Saviour of all. Look how long this is. This title with your fucking Daenerys Targaryen ass. By the way, I can't highlight shit because my mouse click doesn't work properly anymore. I need a new mouse, so sorry about that. P.S. Then she's crossed out P.S. and written postscript to sound smarter. Have you ever sat on a prayer rug with a deck of playing cards playing solitaire? It is genuinely a humbling experience. I can't imagine you being humbled by anything except extensive fucking jail time. I highly recommend it. I shall suddenly come to my temple. Jesus Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu. October 5th, 2021. Oh boy. So let's take a look at the chat again. And I might go make a cup of tea in a minute. Thank you, Pimp Demon. Remember, it will get worse. Well, it just got worse. Thank you, I don't know if it's Naki, Nigel, I don't know. But Mr. Hollis, anyway, thank you. For the US dollars, $4.99. I don't normally do super chats this much, but you truly are a martyr and earned it. Well, it's very nice of you to say, and thank you for your generosity. All joking aside, of course, I am, Chris may think of herself as a martyr and a hero. I, on the other hand, am a twat on the internet, and at least I have the decency to acknowledge that about myself. Whew. I want everything of my apostles off the internet. Made a solitaire joke, but she really did fucking play solitaire. Guess I'll die. Yeah, Noel had a lot of fucking patience with Chris. Like, a lot. Like, way more than most people would or should have. Whew. Absolutely horrendous. So, I'm going to take a quick break. I will be right back. Basically, my mouth is dry as fuck and I sound gross while speaking, so I'm gonna quickly get myself... Basically, I'm not gonna drink the fucking drinking water because I'm a tinfoil hat wearer and I have heard things about the... I have heard things about the drinking water in the news lately, so just to be absolutely safe, I'm going to make a cup of tea instead, which of course still contains tap water, but I'm going to boil it first. So that means it's safe, because that's how germs work. I am a scientist. Alright, I'll see you guys in a few minutes. I will be right back. Alright, I have returned. Oh, boy. Lads. So I went to make a cup of tea, and then I had a pish, and then I realised there might be booze in the house, and I found, lo and behold, half a bottle of Merlot, which I am now going to drink. And now I have wine on my keyboard. Oh well. Such is life. Chris sent a letter from jail in response to a failed attempt to convert him to Islam. Wow. Being a ween-induced trolling attempt, the results were not very interesting. Alright, well, yeah, it's pretty short, this one. I am fully enlightened and awakened. Greetings, Coupon11 and all. October 3rd, 2021. The last response I have received from thee was one about... Well, there was one that was most filled with bad vibes, yet I am not at all shaken. I tell you once more, I meditate a lot. No, the word you're thinking of is masturbate, Chris, it's not the same. And I have connected with this and all universes and dimensions in this timeline, as well as the entire multiverse, so I speak only greatest and ultimate truths. Absolutely no lies, illusions, nor delusions at all. I genuinely know who and what I am, deepest and fully. And not only am I the goddess Blueheart of the Commodore console, fuck off, and the nations of Quickville, and Old Comma. That's a new one. Perhaps Chris Dorian in the chat can explain Old Comma to me. But I'm also, and mainly, the real Player One. Blah, 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 blah. You have said all of this. All of this. Feeling like Peter McNichol in Ghostbusters 2, you know, when... And Vigo, the evil painting, is talking to him in the second scene together, and he's just like, yes, you've told me. Yes, I've heard all of this. One of the only good things about that movie is Peter McNichol. He fucking kills it in that role. He's so funny. Shit film, though. And my mum is Emmanuel, God above gods, including Allah herself. And I often speak and work with all, new sentence, of the other gods and goddesses. Allah is a good God, yes, but even he has his imperfection and concerns over his followers. This is Chris saying this, not me. Please do not blow me up. Is that an okay joke to make? Probably not. I don't give a shit. And nationality of Islam. He and I both know that Islam contains a total population that includes around 40% of toxic haters, fakers and sinners within it, and the total fallout and conflicts within are certainly not too good. Rather thou wishes to believe... Fuck me. Whew. You know what? Take another chat break. I'm reading the chat for a minute. This fucking letter's not going anywhere. What's the chat saying? Ooh, super chats. Sorry, I missed them. Me68777, thank you for the $5. Do you ever plan on doing a stream on Anthony Legato? That would be kind of funny. So, full disclosure, I don't actually know who that is, but I imagine he's a notorious lolcow, judging by your reaction. So I will pop him on the list of things. Item found. Thank you, Tea Kettle, for the $5. Item found. The only real pain reliever. Jacob after finding booze in his house. I mean, you're not wrong, are you? Whew. So, right, let's jump back in. This wine is really flat and not interesting. Not much body to it. Perfect. It's like vinegar. It'll do the job that I need it to do. And since I'm pretty sure it's Gemma's, it's not a very good wine, so she won't be upset I drank it all. Right. Rather thou wishes to believe it or not. I think you mean whether, and even then this sentence is a big problem. Between both the dimension merge, which is completed. It just isn't though, Chris. Like, none of that happened. All that remains of Universe 1218 is the failing Earth. Period. Universe 1C 211987 and its Earth is where all of the non-toxic majority shall be collectively shifted to, and are at present, with these events. Okay. I bring, personally, the Second Coming, and at present, we are at Malachi 3 and 4. Again, you've said this. I continue my hardest of work and efforts alongside, and with everyone between both this earth, blah, 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 alongside Allah, fuck me, I can save most all of you. Most to all of you, excuse me, of this prophet of yours. But you need to be open of all gods in order for me to do so. The choice is yours. You're going to get fucking murdered in prison, Chris. Illustration of the solitude cross again. Mrs. Jesus. Yeah, boring. Nothing special, that letter. Very, very boring. Alright, did we read this one yet? Yeah, Super Mario, Dr. Wolf, all that. Yeah, we read this one. Are there any more of these to read? Have we done? This is a Q&A, this one. Alright, this one might be interesting. Yes, it would appear, Iguana Boy, that you're a mod. I haven't got a fucking clue why. Sorry, I can't answer your question of why you are. It just would appear that you are. Do something fun with it. Ban someone for no reason or something. Right. Oh, I imagine this has been deliberately redacted because it's personal information. Okay. Do they have the yeah, they have the image of this one. Look at that. Ooh. Just dreadful. Chris. Oh man, this looks bad. Look at this. This is real serial killer vibes here. To Censored. I had received your letter earlier today and have just read through it over a couple of sandwiches. Okay, thanks for sharing that. Vital information. This, I should point out, is the one God. The player one, the one true avatar of our universe. Right here, making sure you know she read over your letter over a couple of sandwiches. I write this now with continued sound mind and body and soul on this partial sheet torn from the photocopy of the letter's envelope. While the response is fresh, short on full, blank paper and envelopes at this moment. I will write more in a couple of days after receiving more papers and envelopes. Now for genuine. Right. Now for genuine on the level and down to earth preface, directly with you, Eliza. You're not using any of these words correctly. I feel like a god would be able to speak properly. I do meditate innately, consciously, and involuntarily. Okay, that sounds like narcolepsy, but fine. And constantly. Okay, if I ban you from your own stream, does that mean I get the channel? Why don't you try and see what happens? Because at this point, I'm perfectly happy to lose the channel to one of you lot. I don't want to read this again. Right, where the fuck were we? I've done this all my life. So I do have direct access to, and with this Earth, both of our Earths of the recombining universe, the entire multiverse, the Akashic records, and all other greater and ultimate knowledge, insights and wisdoms. So I do not just believe, I know full and certain, with absolutely no delusions. Blah blah blah, all the things you've said before. As a side, for some future spoilers, details not yet to be publicly revealed that I am not allowed to divulge. Hold on, Chris. You are... Right, so you're player one. You are the one true god, the one true avatar, and essentially master of the universe, you might say. A he-man, as it were. Who says you're not allowed? Who is above you to tell you that? You are the one true god. Surely it's up to you whether you can divulge something. Also, maybe just walk right out of the jail, since you're a god and all. I personally have nothing or very little to hide. Oh, we know. You're very open about the things you've done. It's not an issue of hiding it. These are things you should feel shame, and yet you don't. Miraculously. You feel no shame for, again, having sex with your dementia adult mother. That being stated, I shall initially open by answering your 6th and 4th questions, since the two are sharing in similar details. In regards to online fame or infamy, yes, I do realise, and have accepted that in a certain extent of the damage and chaos that had come upon myself... Oh, it looks like we might make some fucking progress here, guys. In a certain extent of the damage and chaos that had come upon myself on this earth was in fact my fault. Holy shit, guys. It's a fucking breakthrough. It only took a couple of fucking decades. Was in fact my fault. Let's just take a moment to relish that. I don't think we'll get many more moments like that. So let's just soak that in for a minute. And bad in sharing too much conscious honesty during those respective years and pertinence to what had been present then. Consciously, spelt incorrectly, naive, ADD OCD tunnel vision in reference to and on top of my innate meditations, my brain was still a work in progress with a cacophony of many details, and what was right in front of my body and happening took a lot of attention from me. I was simply still soul-searching, exploring, and in remaining and in observation and testing of others and mindsets up till about 2011 or 2014. I did not like to lie, so honest and benefiting of the doubt I was. I know my faults. I am certainly no Mary Sue. And that case was the same with me in Israel over 2,000 years ago. Yet, even if I had not divulged so many truth bombs in honesty, an encounter in late 2007 and early 2008, the results, being chronicled and famous, still have transpired anyway, and my followers started following me in my past life as well. The partial lack of focus on the books is found in what I had stated above. I know I am better than some to most, but I still have room for self-improvements. Well, that went off the fucking rails, didn't it? Alright, thank you very much, Pimp Demon. Chris, you don't own all fictional worlds, so your merger is dumb and can't happen. Stay away from good fiction. Yes, I agree. Jesus is a Mary Sue. Fantastic. Accepting a tiny bit of blame, this won't happen again. No, you're absolutely right. Oh, I think I'm going to call it a night after this one. Have we got any more? Oh, there's a couple more, but what's the point? It's just fucking heartbreaking at this point, isn't it? October 22nd, 2021. Stardate. As I have written a couple of days ago, when I had received and read your letter, and now better able to answer the remaining questions with this letter pad at my use, I now resume with continued sound mind, body, blah 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 blah. I also reaffirm with a hand over my heart as I write this sentence, with my full and extensive access to all greater and ultimate knowledge, insights and wisdoms from my strong connections with the cosmos, universe, Akashic records, and the entire of and beyond the multiverse. One true God writes like a fucking moron. I speak to you both true and fact and direct and on the level. Icon of Christian Sonic, you giving peace hand gesture. Beautiful. Now, I've already answered the 4th and 6th question in the enclosed note, which were in regard to lack of focus on the books, about my self-awareness of my faults and so forth. The dimension merge, collective shift, and my second coming, while visually you may or may not have witnessed obvious incoming or outgoing presences, physical, they have happened and are happening as we speak right now. I'll spare the greater metaphysical truths and details, but suffice to state, there still remains a lingering veil that continues to be very tough to remove by great force prematurely. Its removal is set in divine timing, to be removed upon the completion of my second coming as detailed in the Bible's Malachi chapters 3 and 4. The merge itself is completed between universes 1218 and C197, but it is one of the 3 big events, and it can't all be concluded until after the completion of all 3. Oh God, this is a chore. The collective shift is the second and present event in progress. Second coming is the third. Not to avoid the hypothetical question. Just offering the context at present. Yeah, thanks for clearing that up for us, Chris. It's really helpful. Now, hypothetically, for the merge not ever to go through in the greater... conclusion is also to have the second coming never to happen. Nope, you're still a fucking idiot. In that, there would not be a what would I do, because I would have never existed during these modern years from 1982 to present. And in the lack of my existence, you both and everyone else would have never existed now either. I encourage you both to deeply meditate and consult with the cosmos for yourselves, or ask any authentic, highly enlightened psychic, blah 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 blah. Since my birth in... Ooh, Dauge! Since my birth in Bethlehem in years... I can do this. Since my birth in Bethlehem in year 0, and after my obvious and physical ascension to the heaven realm, I had returned to earth with my physical appearance changed and assuming a new identity with continued immortal memories and so forth. I've continued to walk with everyone for centuries on continued guidance, observations, divine missions, and I change myself time and time again. Well, you don't change yourself, do you? Because you're known to crap your dirty briefs. Even to internally and externally change my physical gender as well. Come the year 1389, and King Arthur commanded Merlin to exile all dragons, which ended up dividing the universe. What? I'm sorry, what? Putting me exiled from the non-magicable peoples. One true God writes words like magicable. As well for a brief moment for me, but centuries for all of you. My sudden mind, body and soul interdimensional transport forward and back through time, space, landing. Me in my one reincarnation and rebirth, February 24th, 1982. My father, now mother, Emmanuel. Oh my God. God above gods herself had been answering everyone's prayers and projecting my outdated visage in my steed. It was stead earlier, but it's definitely steed this time, look. She's fucking written steed with 2 E's. Outdated visage in my steed from 1389 with my temporary exile to 2000 when I came of age once again and started astral projecting, manifesting, and working with everyone once again. Imagine getting in trouble because you fucked your mum. The level of cope, the mental gymnastics here. Like, well, my mum's got dementia and I coerced her to have sex with me. Turns out I'm Jesus. Like, how the fuck do you arrive here? My exile in 1389 was my real leave from you all, and this life I live immortally. I like that at least we've got a little bit more of the Chris Chan backstory, and we know that Chris was briefly Merlin, so not actually a real person, by the way. I mean, you probably all already know that, but just in case you didn't. And this life I live immortally is now in the foreshadowing, along with reawakening, obviously, of the foretold second coming of mine. Just fucking word salad. So hypothetically, if there was no dimensional merge, there is no second coming, which you've explained. And without a second coming, I and all of you would not exist at all. I don't get how we would, like you wouldn't, but I don't get how we wouldn't. So what would I be doing? Same as you. Not exist. Not existing, just not exist. Oh, I was like, what will you be doing this weekend? Exist. I will be exist. You're the one true God, but you don't know how to write. Moving on, my past and present views on those with mental illnesses similar to what I had been born with in this life. This is more personally existential in detail. Presently, I do not look down on anyone with autism, ADD, ADHD, OCD, and so forth. I have become more conscious and aware, and most appreciative of all who have overcome these and even harder struggles. I have other autistic friends, Anna McLaren for one. My trigger had been in observation, and deep empathy and mirroring of those who cannot extensively function mentally. Chris, I don't think empathy is a fucking strong suit of yours, mate. I really don't. I've always felt really sorry for them. But direct that question to yourself. What if, in this timeline, you were as mentally incapable as that kid in a wheelchair? Or the person who had sex with their mother and then said they were a god? With a constantly tilted head and arched wrists, or that constantly unconscious and mumbling young adult who greets everyone with a tough as 100-pound whups to their shoulder or head and can't help it. What? To me, putting myself in their plight empathetically is a trigger, but I also do appreciate that some of them as well manage to succeed in their individual way. Stephen Hawking, to name an obvious one. I also know that they do think and feel for themselves, but they can't fully express it or speak it clearly. I feel it is most difficult and enduring. Stephen Hawking is the person he thought of with this. Patient as I am to be in their company for too long, because then my copies them, and I'm left in that state of mind for a while. Just no good. I do not look down nor hate the similar or worse mentally challenged. I have a hard time with the worse mentally challenged. Be my mirror and reflect my plight while I mirror Timmy of South Park. I'm not laughing either. No one's laughing, Chris. We're all in fucking stunned silence at this point. Even the chat has stopped speaking. I feel better including everyone, especially when they continue to project positive vibes and emotions, as well as treating others kindly. You know, unless they're the sort of people you don't like, in which case they're toxic haters and they will burn in fire and all this sort of thing. Compassionately, respectfully, as they treat themselves and their family and partners. I won't argue or dispute communities appreciating each other in a similar interest, attribute, or even flaw. I have not repeated the acronym with straight cisgender in the main letters in years, and I was still in a learning phase then. Socially, I like being inclusive and open-minded, simple as that. Yes, you've always been fucking open-minded, haven't you? Except your whole birthday video where you rail against trans and gay people. Not everyone falls back on me being autistic, but not everything falls back on me being autistic, but when it did, it was an impulsive and flawed form of self-defense because I was really heavily emotional during those times. Whereas now you're very rational and level-headed. A related topic, my dad, Robert Franklin Chandler Jr. Sonichu. Sonichu. Your father's surname was not Sonichu. Throughout my life, used to constantly spar to instigate an argument or trigger me. I feel like that's probably not the case. Now, I didn't know Bob. But I feel as though this is you not accepting responsibility again. Bob kicked off at you. It was probably at least 50% of the time your fault. This is just you saying, oh, my dad used to yell at me for no reason at all. Because, he said I was being bad or something. Like, yeah, you probably were. This is just a lack of self-awareness again. Going to wake up Robert Chew and Barbara and seeing his panties boxer short, less exposed penis on display like a statue in a museum was not traumatizing enough at the time. What? Often I was hardly able to easily counter or respect his attempts at encouraging me to verbally argue or defend myself. Oh, I see. So, you were probably getting bullied at school then, and he was probably saying, yeah, you need to defend yourself. It's an important lesson for a child. But yeah, fuck you. Have you guys all seen the video where Chris reads Bob's letter, and it's really inspiring and sweet, and she fucking laughs at it? It's honestly horrible. Often, I hardly was able to easily counter or respect his attempts at encouraging me to verbally argue or defend myself. On that aspect, I can fall back and blame the freaking autism as it was then. But yeah, I did not verbally argue as much growing up. And it took facing the even tougher moments since 2000 and shit for me to actually formulate and speak better self-defenses with what is truth. Even in those times when the result was actually my damn fault, especially with all the truth bombs and Rosie Roastchew's post-intersex to female transition and Operation Nudes in the triple extended controversial version of my book number 8 in 2008. Fucking Encyclopedia Dramatica and toxic haters. Hell, yes, I am upset. I tested everyone, as I was meant to, on divine missions from Emmanuel, and I got betrayed kissed again by Josh Moon, as I did by Judas. Deep breaths. I apologise for that outburst. It's not an outburst, Chris, it's a letter. You don't have to include it. But I also feel it emphasises my point in responding to your fifth question. I do take responsibility for slipping into the emotional outburst. Also, I never said Barbara was a god, but Emmanuel is my mother, and she was my father long ago. Emmanuel and Barbara are two separate individuals and souls. As I am living in the now I have been, I know who and what I am, was and have always been, and one moment at a time in this body of mine and astrally manifested between both Earths of 1218 here and, of course, 1C211987. Thank you, Censored, for your question. You have my consent and permission to share my truthful responses online if you and Censored feel well and wish to do so. Redacted information. I personally bless you both through this letter and directly from my soul. Go forth in peace and clarify by my power and glory of God. Be safe and well, with lots of love, Miss Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu, the Goddess Blue Heart and Lord, Messiah, Saviour and God of all. Who doesn't know how to write. Well. What a horrible fucking experience. How are we feeling, everyone? How's the evening going for all of you? I'm having a great time. No, these aren't transcripts of speech, of interviews. These are from letters. You can actually see, if you didn't get here earlier, you can actually see the scans of the, as you can see, Chris is nearly 40 and can't join her fucking letters up like an adult. Like someone who's 9 or above. Thank you, House Rage, for the $20. Very generous. I really appreciate that. $20 for the mind bleach. Yes, thank you. I shall be needing a lot. The mind bleach at the moment is in Merlot, but thank you. Thank you, Bioman12, for the $1.99. I feel sick, Cobe. I feel sick. Yeah, I agree. There was a moment early in letter 1, actually, where I felt quite nauseous. I've returned with a tummy full of soup. What did I miss? Honestly, you don't want to be near this fucking thing. This is a disaster. So, this is me, Cobe, reminding you all to go and watch Dune at the cinema instead of doing this. So, yeah, horrendous. We're going to take a look at just what's next and then see if it's worth taking a look at, basically. So, this one's so basically someone trolling and then someone responding to the trolling. So, let's take a quick look at the original letter and then we'll finish off with Chris's response, I think. To Christine Weston Chandler, I'm just going to be frank. I've been hearing rumours that you're in possession of a plush toy that is in the likeness of Luann Loud. I did some searching. That's not me unzipping. I just realised that sounded like I was unzipping my flies. I have a jumper on. And I'm getting a bit warm. I did some searching and I saw in the video you were asking for people to donate to your Everfree Northwest GoFundMe. That said plush was visible in the background on your bed. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, here's a picture of Luann. I first heard these rumours after your arrest back in August. Though the doll being in your possession was only part of the discourse, the other part was rumours that you did sexual things to the doll. Like, I remember one person saying that you cut a hole in it. I'm just writing to ask if you actually did do anything sexual to the doll. I'm not accusing you of anything. I just want to dispel any rumours. To show you my good intentions, I am giving you an Arabic blessing. You can tear off that part of the letter and hang it from your cell wall. It's a simple phrase that wishes one good luck, and that all will turn out well in your hour of tribulation. Just crease it first. Best regards, Sheikh Zula, or Sheke Zula, I don't know. P.S. My real name will be on the envelope, per Virginia Correction System's rules, but I request you refer to me as my said name, just as Sheikh Zula. Hey, name you asked me not to refer to you as. To answer your question, and you may share it online if you wish, the Luann Loud plush, as well as all my plushies throughout my present immortal life, have never been cut open at all, nor have any of them been violated, defaced, or abused sexually at all. There was no discourse. The Luna plush was literally a gift from another of my kind followers, because they saw a similarity in the humour aspect between I and her. I have my morals, unless they're about my mother, especially being the full reincarnation of Jesus Christ of Nazareth and God of all, including you. Regardless, I appreciate your blessing and prayer in Arabic. I have an open mind for all religions and spiritualities, as I am multifaceted. Thank you kindly. I offer you a direct blessing in return, legal name you asked me not to use. Visually, I draw it in my neo-spirituality / updated Christianity symbol, but its main manifestation is the form of a small share of my own aura and vibrations. Go forth in peace and clarity by my power and glory as God. Blah, blah, blah. Stupid fucking nonsense. Just awful. Awful business. Alright. So hoping maybe there it is. There's Chris's updated picture. What a thing to see. Thank you very much, Tea Kettle. Honestly, you have been my benefactor this evening. You've really been opening up that wallet. I really appreciate that. Before you go, Cobe, I wanted to say that I really hope you all find the time to be more active. I miss you all, and I hope you can get back to reading stuff you actually, quote-unquote, like. Of course, mean creepypastas. Well, thank you. Yes, well, we'll be back with more content soon. I'd like to take this opportunity to plug my film. If people still... There are some people on the channel who still haven't watched Grey Sea. It's a film that I wrote, produced, edited, and co-starred in with Toby. and some of you still haven't seen it. It's weird that you haven't. It went up against 85 other movies for the Audience Choice Award at the festival, and fucking battered all of them. So it's good. It's a good movie. It's not Shakespeare, but I'm very pleased with it. So, please watch that. And there's going to be another movie coming next year as well, unrelated to that one. And yeah, we will absolutely be making more content, be it more live streams, hopefully doing some more Best of YouTube. Best of YouTube. That would be a very optimistic project that I would not be involved in. No, doing more Worst of YouTube, which is, probably our most popular show at the moment. In terms of the new stuff we do on streams, that actually gets more views now than Bad Groovy does. So, yeah. We may go back to Onision, we may not. That's going to be based on demand, really. If people want it, we'll give it to them. If they don't, we won't. We noticed the last one got pretty poor retention, so it wasn't a big success. Obviously, we're not in this to be big, successful YouTubers. Otherwise, we'd be making, potions or whatever the fuck YouTubers do now. But we do like to make things that you guys actually, want us to make. So, with all that in mind, I hope... funny you should say that, Neighbours Kid. We are actually thinking, not that, but we are thinking of reviving some other old stuff we haven't done for a while. So, watch this space, guys. I think once things slow down for me over the Christmas period, it's usually when people get busy. It's actually when I get freed up a little bit. There'll be more content coming. So I want to thank you all for being here tonight. It's been a genuine pleasure chatting to you all. And it was really sweet, those of you who've said that you've missed me and everything. To an extent, I've missed you all too. To a lesser extent, obviously. But thank you all so much. And I hope very much that we can do this again soon.